Next concern in camp, the Mets have quite a few veteran non-roster invitees, and we'll cue up the graphic and tell you who those are. The Mets have all of these guys signed to minor league deals. Craig Kimbrell, who is very accomplished. We'll get into his accolades in just a second. Two-time World Series champion with the Los Angeles Dodgers, Austin Barnes, is in camp, and former Red Sox second baseman Christian Arroyo. All three of these guys, veterans who were invited as non-roster invitees to spring training. They're in big league camp trying to make the club. I'll tell you, I really, really, really like Craig Kimbrell in camp. You see, this Mets team a year ago, they had one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. And then just in the second half, the bullpen just blew up, became a shell of themselves, couldn't hold leads, couldn't keep games tied when they needed to, just imploded. The bullpen was a focus of improvement for David Stearns and Steve Cohen in 2025 at the trade deadline, they picked up three relievers in Gregory Soto, Ryan Helsley, and Tyler Rogers, and none of them were good. Not to mention Reed Garrett and Huascar Brazoban, both of them fell off a cliff last season. And of course, the bullpen was banged up. AJ Minter went down early, as did Max Kranick to Tommy John. So again, the Mets went ahead and got Craig Kimbrell to try to make the club, to see if he has anything left. We're going to pull up Craig Kimbrell's numbers here. Of course, Craig Kimbrell knows what it's like to get to a World Series. He knows what it's like to pitch in pressure cooker situations in high leverage games. Craig Kimbrell, a World Series champion in 2018 with the Boston Red Sox. Kimbrell last season, 14 games, 0-1 record, but a 2.25 ERA. He only pitched in 12 innings in 2025 with 17 strikeouts. Kimbrell last season splitting time between the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros. 1 game with the Braves, 13 with the Astros. Craig Kimbrell, if you look at the accolades of Craig Kimbrell, this is a guy that I would love to have in my clubhouse, a guy I would love to have in my bullpen. He could teach a lot of these guys a thing or two. You look at lifetime numbers, 56 and 48, 2.58 career ERA, 1,282 strikeouts, 440 career saves, a 9-time All-Star, 2018 World Series champion, National League Rookie of the Year in 2011. From 2012 to 2014, he was the reliever of the year, even though they changed the name of the award every year, from the Rolaids Relief Man Award in the National League to the Delivery Man of the Year to the Reliever of the Year. Also won the award again in 2017. So he's a 4-time Reliever of the Year, 4-time save leader in the National League, led the National League in saves every season from 2011 to 2014. So Craig Kimbrell is very accomplished, a high pedigree guy, and I feel he just got a raw deal last season. I mean, the guy, say what you will, 2.25 ERA last season. It's mind-boggling that Kimbrell didn't get another shot with a major league team last season. Again, he split time between the Braves and the Astros, 2 non-playoff teams at that from a year ago. So Kimbrell, I think, will be a good addition. We'll see what he does this spring. But I think that Kimbrell should start the year with the big league club, just to give this bullpen a little bit more of a pedigree. Again, Kimbrell, a guy who knows what it takes to make a deep postseason run, a guy who's lifted up the World Series trophy at the end of October previously, and I think he'll be a great mentor to a lot of the young pitchers in the clubhouse. And then we go to Austin Barnes. So Austin Barnes, very interesting pickup for the Mets, seeing how the Mets have a logjam at catcher. You look at the catchers in the organization, of course, Francisco Alvarez, Luis Torrens, who went yard yesterday in Grapefruit League action, and then even Hayden Sanger in camp. So Hayden Sanger, of course, the Cinderella story from last season, but Austin Barnes, we go to his numbers here. Of course, Austin Barnes was a lifelong LA Dodger, made his MLB debut in 2015. And Austin Barnes, I never thought I'd see him outside of a Dodger uniform. But Austin Barnes, World Series champion in 2020 and in 2024. He was on those Dodger World Series teams. So this is another guy knows what it takes to get to lift a World Series trophy over his head at the end of October. Austin Barnes, you want to look at his numbers at catcher. Barnes, a lifetime 223 hitter, 35 career homers, 162 RBIs. Not a real power guy, not a real productive guy, but the strength of Barnes is his defense. You're not gonna have Austin Barnes in the lineup and have him be a guy that the opposing pitchers are scared of. But Austin Barnes, known to call a good game. He even had good showings in the 2023 WBC as a member of Team Mexico. Again, Austin Barnes, a pretty successful guy. He's been in clubhouses with Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts, the great Shohei Ohtani, among others, Freddie Freeman. So again, this is a guy who some people can say, well, yeah, he's been carried to World Series because he wasn't a staple of their offense or a focus point. But again, you can say that about anybody. Miguel Rojas, Gavin Lux, guys like that who won World Series with the Dodgers. But nonetheless, Austin Barnes is in camp. Do I think that Austin Barnes is going to crack the big league roster? That I do not. I think they're just going to evaluate their options and see what they have. Because again, the Mets had Francisco Alvarez injured to start the season last season. Luis Torrens and Hayden Sanger split platoon at catcher early last season, and then Francisco Alvarez struggled, was sent down in the middle of the season back to Syracuse before being brought back up a month and some change later. But I don't see Austin Barnes. There's just no room for him. He would have to absolutely destroy spring training, both offensively and defensively, because, again, he still has Luis Torrens and Hayden Sanger ahead of him to go along with Francisco Alvarez. And then we have Christian Arroyo. Christian Arroyo here. Again, Christian Arroyo, somebody who a big league veteran. However, he has not played since 2023. He started his major league career with the San Francisco Giants in 2017. Ended up playing for the Tampa Bay Rays in 18 and 19 before spending time with the Guardians and with the Boston Red Sox. So, Christian Arroyo played with the Red Sox. Sorry, the Red Sox, not the White Sox. We played with the Red Sox from 2020 to 2023. Arroyo, a second baseman, be very interesting to see how he does in camp, considering and what the organization thinks of him, considering that Marcus Semien is the second baseman, and of course, Vidal Brujan is in camp as well. As mentioned before, even though he's the backup shorts, he's a shortstop. He's been the third baseman, but Brujan also can play second base, so that's also going to be interesting here. Lifetime numbers for Christian Arroyo. Lifetime 252 hitter. Average is what you would want it to be at this point. 24 home runs, 120 RBIs, and a lifetime OPS of 693. Again, though, he has not played in the bigs since 2023. Last season, he spent all year in the Philadelphia Phillies minor league system. He was a non-roster invitee to the Phillies organization last season and spent the entire year with AAA Lehigh Valley playing for the Iron Pigs. So do I think Christian Arroyo is going to make this roster? Absolutely not. Even if he decides to tear it up in camp, Mauricio and I would dare say Vidal Brujan are more going to get looked at a little bit more than Christian Arroyo would, especially because this guy has not played a single inning of Major League Baseball going on 3 years now. So Christian Arroyo has been a non-roster invitee to several organizations the last couple of years. Can't crack big league camp. So I hate to say it, but I just don't see where he could fit or if he would even be able to break camp with the big league club. But out of the three, Kimbrel, Barnes, and Arroyo, I'm almost certain Kimbrel will break camp and head to Flushing at the end of March with the big league club.